Hi everybody. So tonight it's that working from home. It's things you can do when you're sat at a stupid chair. I know some of us, when we work in our lovely offices, we have nice ergonomical, as in shaped specially for you, chairs. But when we're working from home, we don't have the luxury of that. We have sometimes the kitchen table or the dining room table. Heaven forbid you've got your laptop actually on your lap, but best case, most people have got a good old dining chair. So we're going to do some stretches on that. Before I start, I have to give my disclaimer. I don't know who you are, I don't know what your capabilities are, so really you can't hold me responsible. If you want to follow the class, you're very welcome to follow the class, but don't do anything that hurts. Pilates should never hurt. And don't overdo it. You're not competing with anybody, so just take it easy and enjoy it, get what you can from it. I also know that some of my absolute experts are here, people I've been teaching for a long time, and you know what you can do. You could really push it, can't you? Anyway, so claim up your own insurance. Thank you so much for following me. I've really enjoyed doing Thursday Night Live, and I will carry on doing it. And of course it's free, but I know a lot of my regulars. I'm so grateful. I really am so grateful. Thank you for your payments. It keeps the wheels spinning, doesn't it? All right, so we always set up, and this really is for my regulars and for my newbies. You start with your feet together, turn your toes out, 10 to 2, lift your heels behind. And you will notice the hips, which are the actual bony bits. This isn't your hips, this is your hips, the bony bit. Dig in there and find it. And you'll see that my knees are directly beneath my hips, which is directly above my feet, and that's perfect. That's what Mother Nature intended, not this, or this, or this. None of those. She wanted us just like this. And now we need to lengthen the neck. So lift. See how much taller I get? Just from lifting my neck. Now I want to take my shoulders down and back. I need to find my neutral spine. So basically stick your bum out. So tilt your bum out. Swivel the hips to tuck it under. This in itself is a really good back mobilization. Haven't even had a drink yet. Okay, make that movement as big as you can. The more mobility you have here, the more mobile your spine is, the better the muscles are. Practice makes perfect. Use it or lose it. Okay, now make that movement smaller and smaller until you stop in the middle, and that will be your neutral spine. Now take your arms back down by your side. You want to engage the core, so you put your hand on your belly, just underneath your belly button, and cough. So instead of coughing and your belly going out, you cough and bring it in. So it's and that's engaging your core. It's just bringing it all in, but it's not like trying to do this. And now we need to lift the pelvic floor. That's inside you. Nobody can see it. Nobody knows what you're doing. Who's here? Somebody's here. Thanks. I know, it's so funny. Now lift that pelvic floor up inside. Imagine it's like a lift. And it's the muscle that stops you accidentally weeing. Lift it up inside and lower it all the way down. Lift it up inside again. Hold it and lower it halfway, and then a little bit more, so it's 50%, and then a teeny bit more, it's 30%. Got a message come through. Hi. Hi Jilly, hi Georgia. Working from home. Okay, so now we have the pelvic floor lifted. All we've got to think about is the breathing. We want to breathe in through the ribs. So fingertips together, take a massive inhale through the nose for 4. See how my fingertips have come apart? Because my ribs have spread. Now exhale. And they come back together. And that's the breathing. So it's breathe in for 4 through the nose, out for 4 through the mouth. And if you need to keep that breath rate going all through the class. Next, we can actually start with mobilizing all the body. And I'm going to do some of these. Grab the chair that I asked you to bring. And we'll do the mobilization here. Now, when we're sitting at our desk, hopefully you at least have a table and chair. You are probably sat a little bit like this, slumped. So straight away, you're stretching these muscles at the back of your neck and you're shrinking these, shortening these at the front. You need to address that, which is why I said shoulders down and back. You also can have your neutral spine. So again, from here, you rock backwards and forwards in your chair. Now make that movement smaller and smaller and smaller until you stop in the middle, and that's your neutral spine. Now if you notice, I'm not touching the back of the chair because even though I've got my bum pushed back as far as I can, to have my neutral spine there's a big gap, and with the best will in the world we can't sit like that all day, can we? So that's why you get a cushion and you put it in the small of your back to support you. That's vital, because if you're spending several hours a day, it's vital that you keep your neutral spine. Because, let me show you why, because if you haven't got your neutral spine and you're slumping back into the chair, you see when we were standing and we did this movement, and then when we were sitting and we did this movement, well, what you'll do, undoubtedly, is you'll do this and stay there. So you're tipping your pelvis back, which is shortening your hamstrings. And when your hamstrings get short, that's when agony, when you're walking, running, trying to sit on the floor. So we're going to do a stretch for that right now. This is what you can do when you're perhaps once an hour, just have a fiddle with doing some, my nose is itching, sorry, doing some stretches. Now this stretch here, watch this. Lift one leg and flex your foot. So this is pointed, this is flexing, okay? Now I'm allowing you now to slump. So here we are, we're slumped. And now to stretch my hamstring. Some of you will already have a stretch. If so, stay where you are and hold it for 3 full Pilates breaths. So you inhale for 4, exhale for 4. But hopefully your hamstrings aren't that tight and you're not getting any stretch at all now. So now you can straighten up and tip that pelvis back. Now I've got a nice stretch now. Never ever go into pain. And back. We can do that one more time on this side. So you're going to slump and then straighten out till you have mild tension. The breathing in itself is good for you. If you've been sat and bring it down, we're going to do the same on the other leg now. Oh, I can feel that. So what you've been doing is really working your thigh muscle, your quads. So slump, bring the leg up. Till you get mild tension. This leg might be different to the other leg. I'm happy here. I've got mild tension. I'm feeling a nice stretch down that hamstring. The breathing, you know, if you're fed up or a bit miz, and it is hard going in this weather and everything, the breathing is really good for you. Up we go again. Oh, we've got company. So there you go, there's your hamstring stretch. So from that, you've now got yourself sorted, upright, and you've stretched the backs of your legs. Now let's just swing the legs. Get the knee working. And the other one. Hello. We have company. 2 together. Okay, now I'm going to do my toes. So I'm going to go up onto tiptoes, opposite legs. And even if you're wearing high heels, you can still do this bit. So, does anybody wear high heels anymore? Mine are all redundant. So you're lifting your toes, up onto your toes, all this stuff. Now swirl your ankles round. Because another thing is, if you're not moving, all the blood supply is just sitting there. And this is going to get it all moving, help it moving, back up the legs. The other way. I can do them both together, I don't know if you can. There. Saves a bit of time. So actually, all of us, we're a bit time poor, aren't we? So the more things you can do at once, the better. Okay, now then, here's another one. This is for your hips. Cross your legs. Now, us girls, we're always told not to cross our legs, aren't we? Well, here you go. I'm not saying cross your legs like that. I'm saying put your ankle over your thigh. And I bet you it's tight here. If you've been sat, it's tight. So just little bounces. Little bounces. And then I'm going to swap legs. Oh yeah, that's tight. Little bounces. So we've done the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the hamstrings at the back. We've strengthened the front. And now we're just opening the hips. Brilliant. Now we're just going to do the waist. This is really good for your back. Circling my hips. You could do this every 10 minutes while you're sat at your desk. And the other way. Okay, now we're going to stretch down one side and then the other. Lovely. I'm even going to pull on that. Pull, 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 pull. Now I'm going to let go a bit further. Alright, let's get the shoulders working. Now this is a big trigger point, isn't it? Because if you've been sat like this for ages, and the other way. So all the time you should still have your pelvic floor lifted and your core engaged. Right, now we can do it with the arms. Because we don't have space. Well, I have space here, but when you're sat at your desk, you don't have space. And the other way. There you are, you're back. So we're going to do a spine twist. Now I want you to be really careful because if you're not moving your back very much, you've got to be really gentle when you're doing this. So I'm reaching round, grabbing the chair, and then grabbing the back of the chair. And then I'm just going to gently ease, not pull, ease myself round and turn my neck. And then I'm going to take my hand up and open it up and bring it back. And then turn. So now I'm reaching this way and I'm getting a lovely stretch in this shoulder. A lovely stretch. Bring it back, twist into the spine. Open it wide, twist into the spine. Open it wide. And twist into the spine. Didn't turn my watch on. Pilates. Was I even here? Do I exist? Do the same the other side. So I reach over with the hand. Then I grab the back of the seat and then I gently ease myself as far as I can without any pain or whatsoever. Now this hand here is going to come all the way open, so now I'm getting a really nice chest opening and a nice stretch. So these are things you can do while sat in your chair. But of course, what you really need to be doing is getting up and moving around. There we are. And the only other thing I want to do is your neck. So we're going to draw some circles with your nose. Small first, and then big. Big as you can without any pain. Still with your core engaged, still with your shoulders down and back, still with your pelvic floor lifted. Change direction. So I reckon we've spent 5 minutes doing that. And there's no reason. I mean, you can just not do it. But then by the end of the day, don't you just get up and you're all a bit like this. So really nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. Sorry, I can't do it for you. Right, now we're going to go standing. And while we've got the chair here, we might as well do some legs. So I'm holding onto the chair. You don't have to hold onto the chair. If you're good at these things, let go of the chair. Okay, but here it is. And just swing the leg front to back. Notice that I'm not bending that leg because again, what this is doing is checking the length of your hamstrings. So the higher you can get your leg, the more you've got length in the hamstring and the other hamstring. But once you go like this, you're shortening the hamstring again. There we are, and I'm going to do the other leg as well. Because when you sit all day, you're shortening your hip flexors, and this is nicely stretching them out. God, we're wearing tracksuits nearly all day, aren't we? There's no reason why we can't do this. You're not like wearing a pencil skirt and high heels anymore, are you? If you are, come and see me. And that's just the girls. Alright, I'm going to turn my, well, I won't turn my back to you. We're going to do out to the side now. And I'm going to let go. Which is the hardest one, this is. Lovely. And change legs. So all these mobilisations are vital to do before you start any serious exercise. And practicing your balance is also vital.